Welcome back to another episode for the Wise Talk podcast. I'm your host today, Zach Denneau, Chief Communications Officer. Today we'll be covering NFL Divisional round. I'm joined by Bryce Balistreri, Chief Marketing Officer.
Yo.
How you doing today, Bryce?
Morning's been pretty good so far. Ready. I've been ready to get this playoff talk on.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait.
See what we got. Gonna go over some predictions. We got some
Hot
MLB
takes.
stuff. We're gonna cover some hot takes. Pius X Athletics. So stay tuned for the whole episode, and I guess we can kick it off. We'll go game by game.
Jaguars Chiefs tomorrow at
3:30.
Also, a little note: we're doing these on Friday the 20th.
Just in case we have issues uploading.
Just in case, all of our takes are perfectly spot on.
It's Friday, January 20th at 8:20 a.m. So
Yeah.
we're gonna start with the Jaguars and Chiefs. This is an interesting one because it looks very easy when you look at it at a first glance.
Yeah, I mean, Jacksonville is a really bipolar team. It's almost like the Vikings.
But this is the one thing that and you probably know, everyone's tweaking about the whole Trevor Lawrence never loses on Saturday. And it's easy to say, seeing that a lot of the big games he's played haven't been on Saturday.
That's true. Except for college.
College
is different.
But the good college games were on Mondays.
Yeah.
The important ones were Mondays and Fridays.
Sometimes.
It's hard to say because, of course, if you're playing at Clemson, you play tons and tons of good teams week after week.
But you also have the best talent surrounding you.
Right. So, you could lose on a Saturday, but the hardest games at the end of the season will be on a Friday or a Monday, most likely.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to say that. And then in high school, you play most of your games on Friday. There's some rare occurrences where you'll play on Saturdays if there's something wrong on Friday nights. But
T-Law he can't have 4 interceptions in the first half against the Chiefs. He's not going to get away with that this time. Justin Herbert and Patty Mahomes, there's a fine line.
There's a huge gap there.
Especially coaching. Andy Reid and Brandon Staley or however you say his name. He's not going to be the coach for long. There's a huge gap, and he's not going to be able to get away with being down 27-0.
Oh, yeah.
The score is going to end up being 48-14.
So here's the thing. If the Jaguars, that is, can play how they played in the second half of that game on Saturday last week, they have a chance.
Yeah.
But they would have to keep that up the entirety of the game.
What is that noise? Is this better?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
better.
there we
Okay. So they would have to play like that for the entirety of the game. So, they could do it. I think they have a really underrated receiving core.
Yeah, young.
Pretty young, yeah. And
ETN,
big piece.
but he's so inconsistent.
But JaMychal Hasty, too. As a backup running back for a team like the Jaguars, having JaMychal Hasty is huge.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it's obviously going to be a tough game for the Jaguars to pull out. But I think they can keep it close. The Chiefs' defense is...
the Chiefs are at a different level than the Jaguars. They have the experience in the playoffs. They know how to win these games. And then, after losing to Cincinnati last year, they're going to want this. They're going to want that rematch with Cincinnati or Buffalo.
Not only that, it's just they play better teams in their non-divisional games, too, I believe. Because they had to play Buffalo. Didn't they play the Bengals in the regular season? Or did they not?
Yes, they did. I believe so.
Yeah, so 2 of their losses were at Bengals, Buffalo.
Yeah.
And their third one was...
They also played the 49ers, but they won.
The thing is, with the Chiefs, they almost lost to the Texans. So
a lot of teams almost lost to the Texans this year.
That's true. But they have their bad weeks, too.
Yeah.
So, I think the Chiefs will pull it out, but I think there's a chance it stays close. I want to say it's going to be 35-24. Chiefs win. Patty Mahomes is going to put the pressure on that defense.
He will, for sure. I don't think Jacksonville's going to be able to keep it as close as they have. I mean, it's definitely a dangerous team for sure, but, defensively, I mean, there's a lot of question marks over there. Same as the Chiefs, but, that offense for the Jaguars is too inconsistent. And sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. So, I mean, if I had to give a prediction, I would say Chiefs will be 38, Jaguars 20. They'll miss an extra point.
I mean, yeah, like you said, the defense is just it's hard to stop a team like Kansas City, but these guys know they have a big game this week, so they're going to have to find ways to do it. And however they decide to do it, whether it's keeping a spy on Mahomes or however they decide to do it, they're going to have to really, really try.
They need turnovers, too. The way that teams take advantage of Josh Allen's mistakes, they need to get turnovers on defense and take advantage of Mahomes' mistakes.
But, yeah, I definitely think it has potential to be a good game.
I'd say they need at least 2 turnovers. And they need to score points off those turnovers.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
14 points off 2 turnovers.
That's fair. I mean, it's just, like you said.
Because that offense is not going to be able to go down and be a reliable scoring red zone offense every single drive. Maybe twice the game. Unless there's good field position. Moving on, we got Giants and Eagles divisional round tomorrow at 7:15. Honestly, it could go either way.
It sucks because seeing division rivals go at it in the playoffs, it's really weird.
Especially when the Eagles have won 2 matchups this year already. And if I was a betting man, I'd be willing to put money on the Eagles winning 3 this year against the Giants.
I mean, yeah, the Giants have been.
They're so underrated, though. I was talking about this with Cabrian.
Yeah, when you talk to Cabrian about it, he was calling them frauds in Week 4.
Yeah,
and I confronted him about this on Tuesday. I said you were calling the Giants frauds Week 4, but you didn't call the Vikings frauds until
Week 16.
Right. So they could be frauds, possibly, potentially, but they're still underrated in a lot of people.
And what makes them a good team is they stick to what makes them good the whole season. They don't go away from what they've been doing the whole season in the playoffs. That's how they beat the Vikings. I mean, Double, whatever you say his name, he's a really good coach.
Yeah, Dable.
He utilizes that offense.
Yeah. I mean, if Daniel Jones plays and Saquon Barkley, but if they both play how they played last week,
but they've been doing it consistently. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles is a team defensively that I could see stopping that.
But they've also had a week off, so that's
that is huge. A lot of people don't take that into consideration.
People don't understand how big that is. When there's a team that's hot, and you have a week off, that just blows up everything. Look at the MLB All-Star break. Team hitters that are really hot at the All-Star break, they totally drop off sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was it week? They played in Week 17, right?
Yeah.
So, it's 34-17, but I'm pretty sure it was actually closer than that.
Maybe.
I think it was. Oh, yeah, the Eagles scored 17 in the fourth quarter.
Oh,
so it was tied going into the fourth quarter.
And Hurts played, correct?
Hurts played, but he played hurt, I think. I don't think he was 100%, but they needed to win the game to keep. Wait, this ain't right. This is 2019.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it was closer than that.
Didn't the Eagles
score 22-16.
Oh, wow.
No, yeah, so the Giants scored. I think they kicked a field goal, and then they tried an onside kick, and one of the guys on the Eagles actually made a really good play on it. But for a game to be that close, I know Hurts might have been hurt. He still played well, I want to say.
Better than how Gardner Minshew would play.
Is it December 11th? Nope.
No,
that was a game they clinched.
January 8th it would be.
Yeah. Week 17. But yeah, I mean, this game can obviously go either way.
Eagles have a big advantage at home.
I really like the Giants. Yeah, the Giants haven't beat the Eagles at Philly since 2013, I think.
It's reminding me of the Packers in 2011 when they were the 6th seed.
Yeah.
They went to Philly, wild card, upset them with Mike Vick.
That's actually a very good comparison.
And
I
then
didn't even think about that.
Atlanta the next week, they're the number 1 seed on a Saturday night.
Yep. Because I was actually an
my
Atlanta
God.
fan at that time.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild.
That must suck.
Yeah, no, it was wild. I mean, obviously, living here, Packers were my second favorite team, so whoever won, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like the Giants in the matchup. I know they have a huge disadvantage playing at Philly. Like I said, they haven't won Philly since 2013.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I really like the Giants here. I think it's going to be tight.
I like the Giants too. I mean, I'm cheering for the Eagles personally because if the Eagles win, Zach Bryan drops a single. So I tweeted that. So I'm cheering for the Eagles.
No, yeah, I'm going Giants here.
But if that wasn't the case, I'd be cheering for the Giants because you want new teams to be in the Super Bowl. I mean, the Eagles went a couple years ago.
What was it? That was 2016, right?
No, 2018 or 2019.
Was it?
Yeah, it was the years that it was 52, Super Bowl 52.
Yeah.
Because the Vikings were against the Eagles NFC Championship game. It was your Carson Wentz got hurt, Nick Foles.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's not even go into that.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
So what do you think the score is going to be here?
For Eagles Giants, I think it'll be relatively it's going to be like a average scoring game.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, the Eagles' defense is pretty solid, and the
high
Giants,
20s, low 30s.
Yeah, it's not going to be crazy.
Yeah,
I think it could be a game that comes down to a field goal.
it could be overtime too.
Could be overtime. I think
I have predictions. Hold up.
it'll come down to a 7 or 3 point game. I'm going to go with the Giants here. I think in my bracket I picked the Eagles, but I'm going to change it to the Giants, and I'm going to go 31-28 Giants.
That's solid.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be close like that, I think. The only way it's not close is if the Giants make mistakes offensively and turn the ball over, because the Eagles will capitalize.
Yeah. My prediction. I'd say 34-33 Giants in overtime. So it'll be off of a 2-point conversion to win the game on the second drive. So Eagles will score a touchdown.
On the first drive too.
No, because it'll be, what would it be? 26-26. Eagles score a touchdown, 33-26. Giants score a touchdown, but they go for 2.
Okay. All right.
Because then the next score after that, it could be a field goal. Then the Eagles would win. So they would win 33-30. No, 34-33.
If the Eagles got the ball first, then if the Giants went for 2, the game's over.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying they would go for 2.
Yeah.
So then they'd win.
Yeah. I think we got that covered. We can move on to
Bengals,
the
Bills.
Sunday games, which starts with the Bengals and the Bills at 2 p.m.
It's an interesting game. I mean, it could go either way.
Well, okay, so a lot of people were saying they think the Bengals would have won that game that got delayed.
Yeah.
I
have a question.
It's hard to tell.
Do you think DeMar Hamlin impacts this game?
Definitely. Definitely.
In what way, though? Which side will it impact more? The Bills?
I know the Bills had a bad week last week.
But
I
both
still
teams were
think-
playing down to their competition. They underestimated the Ravens and the Dolphins because they didn't have their starting quarterbacks.
Well, this is what I think. So I think that the Bills, I mean, you saw it with Naheem Hines' kickoff returns.
Yeah.
There was a spark in there somewhere. And whether the spark continued or not last week, I think going back to the team that he got hurt playing against re-sparks you. And I think there's something to be said about, I mean, it's kind of like that whole Ryan Shazier thing.
Yeah.
Where he never could play again.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some type of thing there where every time the Steelers play the Bengals, they know it's a really important chippy game, so they have to come out and play hard. I see it kind of being that way. I mean, obviously there's nothing you can do about.
There's not a
that.
rivalry between the Bengals and the Bills. It's nothing to do with that. It's just
But
it was a football contact.
The Bengals are the team to beat, in my opinion.
Bengals?
Yes, because the Bengals have had it their way with the top teams. Like, regardless of how they play against the bad teams, they've had it their way for the most part with the top teams.
Well, they always start out like rocky, then they like just smoothing it out.
That's why I don't understand the Bengals. They're really hard to read. Mm-hmm. They're really hard to judge. It's hard to say, oh, the Bengals are really good this year. It's like, oh, they've been okay, but you still got to look at, they have Joe Burrow. He's a top quarterback in the league. Jamar Chase,
T. Higgins, Hayden Hurst, Joe Mixon.
They have the pieces. So you look at it, and it's really confusing when you think, like, are they really good? Are they frauds? Are they just not that good? And
they're a really solid team.
But it's like a really solid
Zach Taylor's a good coach. He's a really good coach.
He's a really good coach.
Nebraska quarterback.
Yeah, we know. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, the Bills, obviously, you focus on what the hell? You focus on Stephon Diggs too much, though, right? A lot of teams do it. A lot of teams are guilty of focusing on one receiver too much. And the Bills have Gabe Davis to complement that, who has been great. He is the second, I believe he's second in yards per catch in all of football in the regular season. And there's a reason. It's because people try to guard Stephon Diggs. They try to double him or shade a safety over to his side because they know how dangerous he is, and then they get beat by Gabe Davis because he's underrated.
Yeah, and he's a great playoff performer.
Josh Allen's the one that's gotta see those things, and sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But if he's able to see those types of things, and the Bengals might disguise some looks. Obviously, it's the NFL, and the Bengals are one of the top teams in the NFL. But if Josh Allen's able to read it well, I think the Bills should have no problem. But that's where it gets tough with reading the Bengals as a team.
Well, I mean, Josh Allen, the problem with the Bills, the reason why they lose is because of his mistakes. I mean, last week when he had that fumble at the beginning of the third quarter, right after halftime, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How do you just, let it go? Have ball protection and just go down. Don't let the ball come out. It's not that hard.
And here's what scares me about both of these teams. Based off last week, we don't know how they're going to perform this week. Do they bounce back or do they stay low? Because the Bills, I thought it was going to be a blowout as soon as the game started. 17-0 within the first quarter, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's 17-17. And with the Bengals having to win against a banged-up Ravens team on a defensive touchdown
for the Ravens.
It's underrated, but
as a whole, that's
but your
underrated.
Defense shouldn't give up 17 points. I mean, you can't say shouldn't, but you can say they should. The game shouldn't be that tight.
I feel like the Ravens handed the Bengals that game more than the Bengals won that game.
Definitely, and that's kind of what we're saying here with this whole idea of the Bengals not being easy to read, because they didn't win that game, like you said.
Yeah.
They got it handed to them. I mean, they won by 7, and they got that touchdown handed to them.
Yeah, Bills got their game handed to them too by Mike McDaniels on the sideline.
I mean, yeah. Either way, I don't know. That game could go either way. Personally, I like the Bills.
Yeah, me too.
I think Josh Allen's going to wake up this week, hopefully.
He will.
And I think they will get him by 2 touchdowns. So
2?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a decently high-scoring game, too. I think it's going to be I don't want to say 42-28.
That seems about right.
Yeah, I mean, and that could swing either way. It's going to be the score is going to be something like that, but it's going to swing one of the two ways.
What's the weather like in Buffalo? I'll look it up right now.
I don't think they'll have an advantage because of the weather.
It will.
Because the Bengals play in some cold games too.
Okay, so tomorrow it's going to be 33 degrees. It's raining. Oh, it's Sunday.
Yeah,
it's going to be snowing.
I don't know, because the Bengals, it's not like a team from Florida. And even a team from Florida, when the Dolphins went and played them in the regular season.
It impacts the passing game a lot. But
it's Joe Burrow and Josh Allen.
Wind is going to be 17 today, 12, and 6.
Well, and here's my thing. Both teams have bottom-of-the-barrel running backs this year.
I mean, Joe Mixon's
He's a good
fantasy running back. Not a good.
But he hasn't been what he should be this year. And you can say the same. I mean, I feel like we knew that the Bills' running game wasn't going to be great.
Yeah,
it's been better recently, but either way, it's going to come down to quarterback play. What quarterback can edge it out?
Yeah, that is true. For my final score, I think I'd have to go Bills. I think it'll be relatively low scoring, so 27 22-16 Bills.
Fair. It's hard. It's really hard. It's going to be a close game, but I can't. It's either the defenses don't show up or the offenses don't show up, and you got to choose which one.
Or both show up. I mean, it's the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. But, yeah, so I think we can move on here. And this is
Cowboys, 49ers.
This is where Cabrion tends to really hate me.
And the Cowboys?
Okay.
I don't hate the Cowboys.
I don't know how you feel about it, but the Cowboys, this is going to be the game. If the Cowboys win this game, they'll have no problem getting to the Super Bowl.
I disagree. I feel like if they win this game, they're going to totally flop the next game.
No, they're not going to, because who they'll play? They'll play the Giants or Eagles.
It's Mike McCarthy as the coach, though. We've seen this as Packer fans when you're like, they got this game in the bag. And then they play, for example...
the Giants and the Eagles aren't in the bag, but I think if they play the Giants, it's a no-doubter. If they play the Eagles, it's going to be a really, really good game.
Yeah.
Because you
That's
think...
true.
I mean, I know
it's also going to be in Philly.
They beat them with Gardner Minshew, but Dak had a really bad game. So like, you can say it was Gardner Minshew, but you also got to realize Dak's not going to have another bad game like that. Like that game, I think he turned the ball over 4 times. He almost handed them that game, and they just didn't even take it.
Yeah.
I mean, if he turns the ball over 4 times again to the same team...
Didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah,
sleep number mattresses.
Who knows? But yeah, the 49ers, they're the other best team right now.
Oh, no. I feel like the 49ers are the best team in football. They're the team to beat. I got them
in the
winning the
NFC.
Super Bowl. No, in the NFC. Playoffs, because they're the most complete. Both sides of the ball. Number 1 defense in the NFL.
That's fair.
Offense.
Here's the thing, and I know Ben Doherty said this, and we don't agree with him. He said the Giants are going to the Super Bowl. So that is wild. Here's the thing, though, and he said this, and I do sort of agree with him. Brock Purdy's got to have some type of bad game, and I think it comes with Micah Parsons. Think about how versatile and how much of a threat Micah Parsons is.
Just the whole Dallas defense. Oh, there. It's gone now.
Yeah, the whole Dallas defense in general. But you have Micah Parsons running at your face. You're bound to make a mistake. And I get that he has weapons that he can trust. But I don't think there's been a defense that the 49ers have played that... I mean, you can check me if I'm wrong.
You know who Micah Parsons has running in his face? Kyle Shanahan.
Let's see.
He is an amazing play caller.
He's a good play caller.
And then when you can get away with not having a good quarterback.
I mean, did you see the Cowboys' defense, though, last week?
But it was also against a 45-year-old Tom Brady.
Yeah, but you also think the Buccaneers couldn't get anything rolling.
Yeah.
Whether it was on the ground, in the
Tom
air.
Brady was really bad, though.
Tom Brady was bad, but there's a reason he was bad. There was pressure, though. There was pressure.
Yeah, but he performs under pressure. He's been performing under pressure. That's not something new for him.
So let's go. Let's see. The 49ers played the Bears defensive front, Seahawks, Broncos, Rams, Panthers, Falcons. Chiefs would be the first good one. Rams, Chargers, Cardinals.
Chargers do have a good defense.
Yeah, it's been hurt all year.
Yeah,
this is November 13th. They had
okay.
nobody. Cardinals, Saints, Dolphins, Buccaneers, Seahawks, Commanders, Raiders, Cardinals.
Commanders, good defense.
They're going to have the second best defensive front, but their offensive line gets praised. But who are they? They're not playing anybody. They haven't had to block anybody. I mean, you can say J.J. Watt on the Cardinals, but let's be real here.
It's his retirement season.
Yeah, I mean, no one in the retirement season, because even if Brady retires,
except for you can say the best season, off of someone that's going to retire would be Peyton Manning. He won a Super Bowl, but it wasn't that good.
Right, and
wasn't he hurt? And Brock Osweiler was starting most of the year.
It sounds right. If Tom Brady would have won the Super Bowl this year, you can't give it to him as a great season.
Oh yeah,
it was the worst season of his life. Not even close.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it comes in, with the retirement season. But I don't know. The 49ers have played any decent pass rush teams. And with that being said, I mean, if we go by secondaries, Commanders have been all right. Dolphins, they've been all right. No Rams, no Chargers, Falcons. I mean, the Chiefs' secondary is
decent.
They're more up front, though.
Yeah.
Panthers, Rams, Seahawks, Broncos, Bears.
Broncos are decent.
So I really don't think they've played a good defense yet.
I mean,
I never even looked at that until just now, but I don't know. The Cowboys defense is inconsistent. I'll give them that. I mean, their whole team's inconsistent. Their whole team's inconsistent.
Text Coach Jay and tell me that.
Yeah, I got you. But I really like the Cowboys. I don't know. I mean, it was my preseason pick, and I'm not going to shy away from it just because they're playing the 49ers.
Also, I mean, I don't know why people hate the Cowboys so much. I mean, I feel like it's just a trendy thing.
It's a trendy thing to do.
Hop on.
Yeah, it's definitely trendy.
I hate the Cowboys. Like, what's your reason to hate the Cowboys? They have good fans. I mean, they support them. I mean, like,
right.
What's the difference between Packer fans and Cowboy fans? There's not a difference.
No, it's the exact same. Yeah. And I think a lot of people hate them because they really think, I mean, it's kind of a bandwagon thing for a lot of the middle-aged people.
Yeah.
But I get why Packers fans hate Cowboys fans and Cowboys in general.
But, like, wouldn't Cowboy fans hate Packer fans more? Because the Packers totally own the Cowboys as of lately.
For the past 20 years.
Yeah, but the Cowboy...
There's no reason... Okay, this is... And I have a hot take we can get into after this. You know what? We'll go to that hot take later. But, yeah, I mean, Cowboys are overhated.
But, like, the reason why people hate the Cowboys is because your parents grew up not liking the Cowboys because they were so good.
Exactly.
It's like the Dodgers for baseball or the Patriots.
Or, like, for us Wisconsin fans, it could be like us not liking Nebraska.
Not Nebraska. Nebraska sucks.
Well, back when our parents were growing up?
Yeah, but Nebraska wasn't in the Big Ten. The team that they wouldn't like would be like...
I don't know. I mean, obviously we don't.
I'm not a Wisconsin fan. But as a Nebraska fan, the team that I hate, it's Wisconsin because they always beat us.
Yeah, it's just...
And there's like nothing I can come back with. Like, we were good in the 90s.
Yeah, well, yeah, no one cares about the 90s. Good right now. Yeah, no one cares. No one cares about the past. And I think...
Wisconsin's been ranked in the AP Top 25 for 26 straight years with one appearance.
Which is crazy.
It's the third best in college. Ohio State had 55. Clemson, or it was Alabama, had 26 as well as Wisconsin. But, like, the difference between those teams is that Wisconsin is Wisconsin. Alabama and Ohio State are blue bloods. Wisconsin's not a blue blood.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where the Cowboys kind of, I think they're going to shock people too because they've been the this is our year team, and it hasn't been
it's never their year. It's like the Packers with McCarthy. But I think McCarthy just like rides that wave.
This offense, however you look at it,
it's capable of beating
both of their running backs are
Pollard
true RB1s from almost all of the teams.
It just depends on how McCarthy decides to utilize them. If he utilizes them the right way.
Well, and I think he has been. If you look at Zeke, he has all the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pollard has all the yards and receptions.
And Maher has all the missed extra points.
And that's how you have to use them to be successful. So, I mean...
Also, something I saw was CeeDee Lamb on the sideline. He confronted Brett Maher during the game, and he was like, we got your back. You've been a really good kicker for us the whole year. We're not going to, like, let you down.
And that's a thing.
In contrast to what you saw from Dak, who was having a temper tantrum, throwing his helmet on the sideline. And he's
Jesus
like,
Christ, I can't stand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you get into the receiving core. They have Dalton Schultz is one of the best tight ends in the league. CeeDee Lamb.
Who's the other guy?
He didn't have a great Noah Brown.
No, there's one other.
Michael Gallup.
Yeah, him.
All three of those guys are ridiculously good. Mm-hmm. And think about this, and I know this is biased because I'm a Wisconsin fan, but Jake Ferguson as a rookie has been great.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's biased, maybe it's not.
No, it's not.
But
Wisconsin just
he had that
produces
35 reception, 35-yard reception. I thought it was going to be a touchdown. I thought he was chugging along. I was like, come on. But, I mean, for backups, their backups at the running back position, huge. At the tight end position?
The quarterback position?
Huge. The quarterback position? Huge.
Because if they can just bench Dak, and then...
It'd be the exact same.
I feel like it would be better if they benched Dak.
Here's the thing.
Have a whole
benching Dak...
plethora of different things that you can go to.
Well, and benching Dak would get other... Like, the guys that Dak doesn't throw to more involved. Mm-hmm. Because Cooper Rush was on the practice squad with Noah Brown.
Yeah.
Before they both came up. So you get more insight on Noah Brown, then people are going to start have to guard him and take their eyes off CeeDee, Dalton, and then you start passing there. Yeah. But, I mean, we're not going to go into the backups because I'm just going to hope they're not going to have to use the backup.
I think we need to talk about the 49ers more, though. They're not getting enough, like, praise, I would say, as
Yeah.
they should. I mean,
Well,
look at their offense, though.
That midseason acquire.
Oh, my God.
Acquisition of
That's what a good
CMC.
franchise does.
I mean,
you don't see the Brewers, Packers. I mean, maybe not the Bucks. You don't see them doing that. But again, they're not a upper.
I mean, the 49ers knew they were going to be contenders, and they knew that they were missing one piece somewhere, and they happened to just go out and get the best player possible at that position, and that was crazy to me. I mean,
and it's a big risk too.
It's a huge risk.
Yeah,
I mean,
they didn't even give up that much, so.
But the huge risk is you just gave up all that stuff, even if it's not a ton. You just gave that up for a guy who's injury prone, and luckily hasn't been this year. But you don't know. You know, you can never assume that he's not going to get injured again.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's football.
Right, it's a contact sport. Obviously, you're going to get injured. But yeah, I mean, that offense is just explosive.
My prediction for the game, I got 49ers winning. I mean, I'm really high on the 49ers, but it depends on what Dallas decides to show up today. I mean, Sunday. I feel like
there's a good Dallas and the bad Dallas.
It's a really bad Dallas.
Drastic difference, too.
Yeah. I mean, there's a Dallas that showed up against Minnesota and Tampa Bay. And then there's a Dallas that shows up against the Commanders in Week 17.
Yeah.
With a rookie quarterback starting. I mean,
it's crazy.
I got 49ers winning.
High scoring, low scoring? What do you
31 to 24.
I like that. I'm going to go Cowboys 28-24.
Okay, that's valid.
It's going to be another tight game. This weekend we'll have a ton of tight games. The only one that might not is that
Jaguars.
Chiefs-Jags, yeah. But, so, I mean, we went over all the predictions for that.
Yep.
And, like we said, this is the 20th of January.
Yeah. I mean, you know we're in school because the bell's ringing. It's not a Sunday. We're not in Sunday school.
Yeah.
It's 8:51 right now. I'll take a picture of me right now and post.
But, so now that we talked about the NFL, shall we go in?
Yeah, MLB.
I do want to say my hot take that I was talking about. So we were talking about that that whole Packers and Cowboys fan rivalry and stuff like that. Personally, and some people may disagree, obviously it's a hot take.
Yeah.
Marquette, Wisconsin basketball isn't a rivalry. It is the dumbest.
It's not a rivalry because Wisconsin wins every year.
Dumbest rival. It's not even that. It's the teams don't correlate to each other whatsoever.
I mean,
what
I guess you could say.
What one team doesn't affect another team in that rivalry. So
yeah,
I just don't get it. I mean, that was just a hot take real fast.
Yeah, no, I understand. Don't tell Dylan Madison and Nate Donovan. They're gonna have a hissy fit.
All right, let's get into some MLB stuff since we're here. Zach and I being the MLB analysts of the podcast.
Big Brewer fans.
Anything that sticks out to you that we haven't covered on the podcast yet so far?
Some news from the Brewers. They just signed Brian Anderson. So
huge. I love it.
I can't wait for the Brian Anderson calling Brian Anderson. Well, for people that don't know, Brian Anderson's the announcer for the Brewers on Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, Bally
Sports.
Bally Sports, Wisconsin. And he also does TNT basketball.
He's a big guy. People should know him.
He's a really, really, really big guy. He has a great voice. I can play a clip right now of his voice.
But yeah, I like that trade. I really, really like it.
No, it was a signing.
Or a signing, sorry. What was it? Did we just 1 year deal? I want to say it was only
Look it
1
up
year.
real quick.
Yeah. I think it was only 1 year, but I really like it in terms of needing.
Brian Anderson's also on 2K.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right. Yeah, so you should know who that is.
That's Brian Anderson.
But yeah, I like the Brian Anderson trade or the signing. Sorry. And it was $3.5 million for 1 year.
Oh wow,
that's a steal. Oh my god,
let's look up his stats real quick.
But yeah, I think that's something that. So with the Colton Wong trade.
Oh my god. I really, really like that trade.
We got Jesse Winker and Abraham
rakes
Toro
at Miller Park, but he had a bad year last year. But everyone has a bad year. At
Miller Park, I think he hits in the 320s.
320s?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure he's played like 30.
Oh, I thought you meant like this year, like batting 320.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
In his career at Miller Park, because he used to be a Red.
Yeah.
I think he bats in the 320s or 330s with tons of home runs.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's played around 40 games at Miller Park, or it was Miller Park when he played there. AmFam Field now.
No, it's still Miller Park.
It's still Miller Park, by the way. But yeah, let's see. He batted. Well, his career average.
Winker?
Or no, we're talking Anderson or Winker.
Oh yeah, let's talk Anderson.
Anderson.
I got his right now. His
Yeah, I
batting
have it
average
up
last
too.
year was 222. His career is 256. So it's like right around the Brewers' standard.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to be a team that blows you away with hitting, obviously.
Yeah.
But his career batting average is 256, which is pretty solid. It's not great, but it's
league
it's actually
average.
pretty good.
His OPS plus last year was 87, but his career average is 105, which is 5 points better than league average.
And then Jesse Winker, since we're talking acquisitions.
I really like him, man.
He only batted 219 last year, but 2 years ago batted 305.
Oh, yeah. He had a huge year. He was an all-star.
Career batting average is 270.
I feel like everybody just regresses.
So in the
when he gets
NL
the
Central,
Brewers.
let's just say this. So last year was his first year out of the NL Central. He only batted 219. But in the NL Central, when he was with Cincinnati from 2017 to 2021, 305, 255, 270, 300, 300.
Dude,
So
the NL Central is a really
hitter-friendly.
Yeah.
I mean, because you have Great American.
Except for Wrigley.
Great American Ballpark.
But Great
will
American, oh my
fly.
God.
Well,
So Miller Park,
could,
too.
That could have something to do with why he batted so well.
Yeah, but he's still going to get those at-bats
Well, he's
there.
gonna- yeah, he's gonna get
and
a
he's
lot
going to
of
get more in Miller Park, which I would say
it's a
easier.
mid park.
What?
It's mid for like hitters. I mean,
Yeah, but the
it's
ball
not pitcher-friendly,
carries.
and
People don't
it's-
understand like how much the ball carries in there.
Yeah, and well,
Just playing
obviously
there.
there's
Like
circumstances
you and I have
with,
played there.
with the windows and with the roof
Yeah.
and stuff. There's circumstances there. And then we got Abraham Toro in that trade as well.
I'm not really very familiar with him.
Ooh,
I feel like he's not that good because I'm not familiar.
180 batting average.
It's like Jonathan Scope with the Brewers.
So he's played 5 years so far, 3 with Houston, 2 with Seattle. His highest batting average in those years was 2 years ago at 252.
How many at-bats?
252 for 226. That's not. I mean, it's not terrible.
Yeah.
So sorry for an interruption, Jaquan Johnson. Come see Miss K, Jaquan.
Speaking of Jaquan,
Shout out
Johnson.
Jaquan. We're going to have a big game tonight. Pius, Exide Popes versus
Whack.
West Dallas Central. Whack. Not me. West Dallas Central. What is it? 7 o'clock?
7 p.m. Be in the field
At the
house.
Vatican.
The Vatican.
Also, wait, hold up. 1 sec. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah. So he's batted 206 in his career. Not great.
Yeah.
But it's a good. I think the Brewers. So from what I heard, we can also the William Contreras trade we haven't gone over.
Oh,
yet.
yeah. Wait, hold
In
up. 1
depth.
sec. Shout out Pius Exide Palms. They're going to be performing tonight at the West Dallas Central Pius game. Pop out. Just be there, be square. In the words of Rafa. All right?
All right, continuing with the William Contreras trade, too. I mean, we're just going over Brewers acquisitions. Obviously, like, this is huge for us. We're a team that's always one player away or one step away from being that explosive team and winning playoff games.
Oh, my God.
And
it's heartbreaking.
That trade... So
it changes the franchise. It changes the direction of the franchise,
So
in my
obviously,
opinion.
We did our breakdown on what we thought of it, and obviously it was all positive. William Contreras brings such a big bat to the team, right?
Yeah.
And it's just something where we're getting extreme value for giving up a prospect
Oh, my God,
that
dude.
we don't even know.
We got him in the Josh Hader trade.
We don't even know what.
It's Drew Ruiz. I remember watching him play against the Diamondbacks last year in Arizona, and he's really skinny. He has plus power, I think, and he's really fast. But, I mean, when do you see those guys translate into the MLB?
Right.
He needs to put on weight, and he's in the athletics organization now.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
The Athletics could be good if these prospects actually fill out. I mean, because they got the number one prospect from Atlanta.
Yeah.
They got what was Estery, our 8th?
Your mic. I think something's wrong with it.
I think it turned off.
Did it?
I don't know. Can you hear it? Can you hear it in your headphones?
Nah, not. I mean, wait.
Hello?
It's not showing up on the thing. Here.
What?
I'll go like this. Try again now.
Here? Yeah? No? Maybe?
Here, unplug it. All right, unplug it back in. All right, there we go. I think
Better?
it's.
Yeah, that's better.
I think it is. Yeah.
That's better. Yeah, but this is what I went into this trade for a reason. Justin Yeager was a player that the Brewers received.
Peter Yeager. Shout out Peter Yeager, teacher at Pius, Tech 414, home of Caleb Oliveira.
So Justin Yeager is actually a family friend.
Yeah.
For us, and
I remember you mentioning that.
he was extremely excited to come to Milwaukee because he said their player development in Milwaukee.
It's crazy.
And I don't think it's hard to know this as fans of the MLB because you don't know what goes on inside of organizations. You just see what happens when they play. So it was really interesting for me to hear. He said their player development and it's known around the league that the Brewers' player development is the best player development.
It's like the Rays.
In the league. Well, one
Also,
of the best.
can I say something real quick? With getting William Contreras from the Braves, he didn't have a great season or career as a catcher, but the Brewers just develop catchers like crazy. They're the best in the league at doing it. Omar Narvaez, when he came to Milwaukee, his framing skills were like the worst in the league his first season. No, his last season in Seattle. Then he got to Milwaukee. First season was decent. The next season, 2021, the year after COVID year, when he's actually able to get in contact with coaches and stuff, he was the best rated catcher in the MLB based on framing and framing strikes. So, I mean, that says something about our development.
And when when I heard this from Justin, he was talking about mainly the pitching.
Yeah.
But like you said, we've seen it with the catching department as well.
I feel like the catchers have a big, big, big role in how successful our pitchers have been.
I can see that. We get a lot of good calls, and obviously we have good pitchers in Milwaukee right now.
Yeah.
But we get a lot of very borderline calls, I think.
But look at
that go our way.
I think this is a good example. When in the playoffs, 2018, the catcher they had was Steven Kratz. Eric Kratz. Sorry.
Yep.
But their pitching wasn't that good, and I think that has something to do with
someone else that was terrible too.
Pena.
Was it Pena? I thought it was someone else.
No, it was Pena. Oh,
You know what I'm talking
Jacob
about?
Nottingham.
Yeah.
He's in the Marlins.
I thought we looked him up and he was a free agent.
Marlins or Pirates?
I don't know, but
I might be thinking of.
either way, I mean,
Oh yeah.
if we would have had a catcher there, a better catcher,
You know who I miss? Jonathan Lucroy.
yeah.
He's my favorite player growing up.
like Jacob Nottingham,
I wanted Jacob Nottingham to pan out so much.
Mariners.
What? He's never gonna play. They have Mr.
He has a
Walkoff.
rule named after him. The new clause in which a player can't be claimed off waivers for a second time by the same ball club.
Oh, didn't the Brewers do that? Oh, the Brewers did do that.
Oh yeah, it is for the Brewers. Look at that. Wow.
The Nottingham rule. It's like the Treaty of
So
2022.
do we have Jacob Nottingham? All these articles are from 2022.
I don't think so. I'll go to Baseball Reference right now.
Because when I look him up, the rule just comes up. He don't even come up.
Oh, he's on the Orioles. Wait.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, I remember that. Other than Brewers trades, is there anything else that you think?
Oh, something that was incredibly under the radar from my point of view was the Phillies. They got Gregory Soto from the Tigers in a trade. Gregory Soto is one of the most underrated players in the MLB. He's a lefty reliever for the Tigers, and he throws like 102.
One, put it into perspective that they just got Trey Turner.
Oh my God.
And, I mean, obviously we know Trey Turner and what might be happening with Trey Turner. If he can pan out how they think he's going to pan out,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Bryce Harper's out for at least the first half. We'll see what happens with that.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
It's weird.
Dude, I don't know if the mics were on the whole time.
They're on. I can
hope.
hear you.
Well, yeah, I know, but I just turned the green button on. I hope they were, because that would be a big waste of time. We could always come in here during 11-12, though, if you're going to stay.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
But yeah, so I think the Phillies are going to be even more dangerous this year, despite not having Bryce Harper for the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept everything, I want to say.
For the most part, yes.
And added Trey Turner, obviously, on that monster deal.
Yeah. They got last year Castellanos didn't have that big of a year. If he can bounce back, I feel like he's an X
Phillies
factor.
are dangerous. They're still dangerous.
But the thing is, they're dangerous, but they're going to end up placing third in the division. Your mic's good. I can hear you now.
Yeah, so like we said, I mean, obviously as Brewers fans, we wanted to analyze most of the Brewers things. But yeah, okay. We have about 5-10 minutes here.
Okay.
So let's get into some Pius athletics here. I know we mentioned the boys have a game tonight.
Girls also have a game.
The girls do also have a game. They will travel to West South Central to play the Lady Bulldogs, and the boys team will be right here at Pius in the Vatican.
Yep. We'll be here
playing West South Central. We will be able to give you live updates. If this doesn't go up, it won't be up today. It'll probably be up tomorrow.
No, Cameron said that it's not going to be up until next week because something with one of the Jonathan, he's not able to.
He's not able to get a transfer over.
Because he's sick or something. I don't know.
But yeah, so the boys will play West South Central. West South Central lost a lot of players last year.
Not Najashi.
Josiah Gilly, the kid that went to Air Force.
What? Air Force?
Yeah, he's D1.
Oh, wow.
Grayson Pritzel.
Oh, him? Didn't he get
He got
ejected at Pius?
Last time he played at Pius, he got ejected.
At the
tournament.
Hank Raymond's Classic?
Invitation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this West South Central team had a pretty big drop off from last year. They do have a freshman. I think his name is Yusuf Gray Jr.
What? I think I have that guy on Snapchat. I'm not even kidding.
Sources have told me he's been hurt, and I'm not sure if he's going to play tonight or if he's going to be out. If he does play, it's something to look out for. He's averaging the 5th most points in the conference.
Oh, wow.
I think it's 18
Han
points.
Jaquan.
18 points per game as a freshman.
Yeah. I mean, I know Milan's like 28.
Milan's second. No, he's worse than Jaquan.
Oh, wow.
Jaquan's 27.5. Milan's like 25.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have 2 of the top 5 scorers in the conference going at it tonight. And, I mean, last year we didn't beat West South Central both times.
Yeah.
This year we're going to hope. Right now we're number 1 in the conference. We're going to hope we can get a
I'm
win
pulling
and
up the
keep it
conference standings right now.
there. We're number 1. I know that.
Pewaukee's 2 there.
Milwaukee's 2. Wisco's 3.
Yeah. So we're 4-1 in conference. Pewaukee's 4-1. Wisco 3.
New
Ike.
England, Eisenhower,
Whack. Greendale.
Whack,
West.
Greendale, West, yes. So, yeah, I mean, we're looking to extend, what do we have, a 4-game conference win streak?
Yep.
So we're looking to extend that to 5 tonight.
Next week,
week's
Wisco.
gonna be crazy.
It's Wisco week.
And, we'll get more in depth on that on the Instagram. We have some stuff that's going to go up for that.
We'll also try to get in to record a podcast before Thursday next week. If we can find a time where both of us are free and Cambrion's in here.
Also, the girls team, obviously you got to cover.
Yeah.
It's hard to cover just because West South Central's been pretty bad the past couple years for the girls team.
They're always bad.
And it gets to a point where you start to feel kind of bad. We're just making shots and they just can't even get the ball up the court. But yeah, the Lady Popes should be able to win. I think they'll extend their win streak to about 7 games.
Impressive.
Which is pretty good, especially coming off a big win against Eisenhower last week in a rival.
Yep.
Huge rival with Joel Clausen,
Boo.
Eisenhower head coach.
Yep.
But yeah, so the girls look to extend their win streak to 7 as the boys look to extend their conference win streak to 5 games tonight. On top of that, Zach Denneau mentioned earlier that the girls' Palms team will be performing at halftime.
Also, quick shout out. K-Brown told me, shout out to the Pi Success Step team. They're going to have a performance on the 26th or 27th. I can't remember which day. Regardless, that's besides the point. You got to be there, all right?
Yeah. So,
Shout out Step team.
I mean, just all around, the Pius Athletics this winter have looked
Impressive.
great. Obviously, the boys basketball team, they're 9-3. 3 losses, Wisco, Martin Luther, and Thomas More. Thomas More is within the top 10 in Division 3. Martin Luther is also in the top 10 in Division 3, and Wisco is they might have passed Arrowhead for number 1 in the state now that they beat them.
Arrowhead's good.
Arrowhead's really good.
Arrowhead's
Wisco beat them by 6, though.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
So,
but didn't they not have a player? Really?
I'm pretty sure it was all on all. So, yeah, I mean, the 3 losses that Pies has had have come to ranked teams in the state and teams that I don't want to say we should have lost to, but teams that were definitely on the agenda that we could have lost to.
And then besides basketball, I mean, Palms is popping.
Palms has been pretty good. I heard that they've had I know there's been some people who got individual awards. I think there was 4 maybe.
Yeah. And Step team's been good.
Step team's been doing good at the games, performing.
Yep.
We got. I'm not too sure about boys swim. I was trying to get in contact with somebody for
I don't know
boys
anything
swim.
about boys swim.
I don't really know. I heard we're decent. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get some information on boys swim because that's the one I don't know much about. I know powerlifting. We've had tons of successful placements at a couple different ones. I think we've been at Elkhorn and we've been at Waterford.
Oh yeah, Waterford. I know that.
I know at Waterford we had a lot of people place.
Harrison placed at Waterford, right?
I think a lot of people did. On the announcements, it was a really long list. And then for wrestling, I know Harrison's done well. I think he had a pin in 17 seconds a couple weeks ago.
Not gonna lie, I don't really know anything about wrestling.
I kind of know a little bit about it.
The only thing I would know is like from Trivia Crack.
No, so a pin is just it's the easiest way to win, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think Harrison pinned someone in 17 seconds.
Wow.
And then I also want to shout out, I think Sophia De Moya placed 4th in a tournament. I think there was 15 or 16 girls, and she placed 4th, so she would be in the top 3rd there. So, I mean, all around, the athletic department in the winter has been very
really
strong
good.
so far.
Spring will be better, too.
We're going to hope that the spring...
Baseball team?
Baseball, softball, track. I know track was good last year. We had a lot of state qualifiers. Baseball looks to bounce back.
Opening day.
Softball played well. They did lose in the playoffs in the first round, I want to say.
Yeah, we did.
It's kind of a fluke. They had a good season, so we can all hope that the spring sports will do the same that the winter sports are doing.
Be ready for April 1st. It's not an April Fool's joke either.
Be
Oak Creek.
Be ready for everything.
Yep.
Everything Pius, everything football, everything baseball.
Football.
We will be here to cover. So,
Yep.
I think that's it on behalf of the Wise Talk podcast for Zach and I. We'd like to thank you for the extended support that you guys have been giving us, whether it's Instagram, whether it's personal, anything like that. All the support that you've been giving us. And as Kabrion mentioned before, if there's something you want us to cover that we're not already covering,
just contact
shoot
us.
Someone a message, Instagram, Snap, however you want to contact us.
Yep.
Either by the Wise Talk podcast or just send it to someone individually, such as me or Zach, Kabrion, anyone like that. So
I think with that, we'll just wrap it up.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Thanks for listening. This is the Wise Talk podcast. Zach and Bryce. Adios.